catching up on 2025 releases. We got Landmarks, The Darkest Place I've Ever Been. First, one of my favorites this year, with an absolute banger of a song with While She Sleeps and Matt Welch in A Line in the Dust, produced by Landmarks themselves, put out through A Rising Empire. Like I said, we will be hearing more about them throughout the show. They have a great lineup of artists, really. So, Florent Salfati was responsible for a lot of the production. They recorded in his own studio, and he was quoted in an interview with Kerrang magazine for the release of the album that it was a painful album to write. I personally felt quite uninspired for quite a long time. We wrote a lot of stuff, but most of it ended up in the trash. But I think that's what we needed to make something different from Lost in the Wave, their previous album, to make something deeper. I think we had to go through this phase to make a good album, and I'm really proud of it. And yeah, definitely be proud of it. This album is insane. And further on, some more context for this quote. He also said, "The more I was struggling to write music, the more I felt depressed. At some point, I thought I have to put all these emotions into this album, just all the depressions, the stress, the struggle." And so they did. Yeah, produced by Landmarks themselves. Not sure if I said so already. But yeah, they always produce themselves. And there's so much more to say about this album. Like Nicolas Exposito, the guitarist for Landmarks, is quoted saying that this one came from a darker place where we were dealing with personal losses, burnout, and emotional collapse. Instead of making another heavy record, we asked ourselves, what do we really want to express right now? Check this out if you haven't already. Sulfur is one hell of a song. Also, A Line in the Dust, Creature. Every single song on here is great. And I can't wait to see them live. If they are near you, give them a chance. All is beautiful because we're doomed by We Came as Romans, produced by Drew Falk and Will Carlson. Drew Falk, one of the most renowned names in the scene, and released through Sharp Tone Records on August 22nd. This is a 13 track, well, maybe 12 track, depending on if you count the intros. And the philosophical concept behind this, Andy Glass was quoted saying, is that he read Anatomy of the Spirit by Caroline Mess, in which she discusses a golden rule that says, if you invest energetically in others, then they invest energetically in you. And this rule she calls all is one. Now, he's further quoted saying that he loves this idea, but it wasn't specific enough. Like the concept seemed too broad for for a whole album, and so he also got influenced or took influence from Greek mythology, Homer specifically, the Iliad and the Odyssey, and that energy went into this album. Bad Luck, the lead single, was produced with Jordan Fish of Bring Me the Horizon, or former of Bring Me the Horizon, formerly of Bring Me the Horizon. And it sets the tone for the record. You can tell that this is same old reliable We Came as Romance with just an ever evolving style in writing songs and creating records. Just overall improving every single thing they can for the next record all the time they put out one. This is really refined songwriting and production. I would say definite recommend. Accused put out their debut Dealers of Doom through A Rising Empire. Who would have thunk? Produced by Manuel Renner. This band originates from Wiesbaden in Hesse, Germany, home to the legendary Schlachthof. And they made quite a buzz even before the release. They had more than 160,000 monthly Spotify listeners pre-album already. Valentin Nowak was quoted saying that writing music, writing lyrics is definitely an emotional outlet for him. And when writing lyrics, they come directly from a place within ourselves. I don't know about the success, but I couldn't write any other way. I want to express myself in the lyrics, and if I don't do that, it doesn't feel real. If the fans can connect with the lyrics in any way and bring their own emotions into this, then I achieved every goal. This was in a Wall of Sound interview, which just tells you the approach to music. Just put your personal energy into it, share it with the fans, and they will respond in an honest way if you're honest yourself. Um, I would really recommend just to listen to the whole 30 minutes of this album in one go. But if you want to get a feel for it without spending that much time, listen to Make Sure It Hurts. Lonely God by Fit for King, released on August 1st through Solid State Records, produced by Daniel Brownstein, not Drew Falk, who gave the band one of the biggest successes with their last few albums. As they are quoted saying themselves, Drew took our career to a whole other level. He made us focus on getting our big hits, and there's a reason why he has so many number one songs on the radio. Dan is a different kind of producer, but most importantly, he knew our band from a fan perspective. He's been an observer for 7 albums of our career, so we were able to ask what he liked from our band. He just wanted to help us write the truest Fit for a King record ever, which it's just the same approach, right? Write honest music and you will get honest responses from the fans. I really like this album. I was super excited when the first singles came out, like No Tomorrow and Lonely God. Felt insane. Production level, as always, with Fit for King is super high. Can you tell the different producers or the difference in the main producer on this album with Daniel Brownstein instead of True Folk? I couldn't. It's just Fit for King playing to their fullest strength, but also still having that cinematic value or cinematic approach, I would say, to them. There's another quote from Ryan Kirby regarding their creative freedom with this one. And he said, Lonely God is the result of us writing with no agendas. We didn't care about which song could be viral or if we needed radio tracks. We just wrote what we wanted for the first time in a really long time. All 5 of us have our fingerprints on this album. We found a way to balance our voices. We've always been genuine with the lyrics, and that's the case again. There's so much heart behind all of the instrumentation too. There's definitely a lot of growth because our bond is tighter than ever. And they also spend a lot of time revisiting albums like Dark Skies, asking themselves, what is Fit for King and what made people fall in love with us? You can tell throughout the album, all their evolution they went through is still in the essence of this album, but yeah, it's all in the vein of make honest music and you will get honest love back. I really enjoyed this. My personal favorites definitely are No Tomorrow and Lonely God. Insanely great songs. Insanely great album. Definitely recommend. Underoath, the place after this one. Another stable in the scene, I would say. Underoath have been active since, wow, early 2000s. Whatever. We're here to talk about the place after this one, produced by Dan and Reed Richter and put out through MNRK Heavy. This is their 10th studio album, and they have replaced rhythm guitarist James Smith. This is the first album without him. And it's so different. I don't even know which start. They will be on tour with Landmarks, by the way. They will be supporting them. So I'm happy to see them live finally. I've been a fan ever since Define the Great Line and never seen them live. I will now. Yay. This is different. This album is different. It hits different. And the lead single, Thief, really showed that from the very beginning. It has a different approach to structuring the song than Underoath usually has. It has a different approach to songwriting as a whole. And so Spencer Chamberlain was quoted in regards to picking Thief as the first single, was quoted saying that we wanted to stir the pot. We knew that it would drive some people crazy, piss some people off, and really stoke some other people out. Which just tells you all there is about this release. Underoath were trying to change up the music they make. They took in a lot of influence or inspiration more from The Prodigy and the Chemical Brothers and so on. You can tell throughout the album. needed quite some time to get into this. At first, I was weirded out. Yeah, it was a bit too much of a difference in the style. But if you give it a shot and you just go into it with a different mindset, then oh yeah, this is Underoath, same old, same old. Um, then you can find something really unique and really great in this. Like now, I really enjoy this album. It has great energy. It has great, great songs on there. Sorry, super nice energy. Spencer Chamberlain was also quoted when being asked for the comparison of this album to Define the Great Line, comparison to Define the Great Line, that he's proud of every record they ever created and wholeheartedly stands behind all of them. But he hasn't felt this way about an album since Define the Great Line. He'll never forget the feeling he had the first time listening to this album together. And listening back to the place after this one, every hair on my body stood on end again. He was quoted in Melodic Magazine. And that's just going to show you how much this means, how much this album means creatively to this band. I